G'day guys, this is a segment on connecting me hares. I've got 3 turnouts, so there will be 3 hares I'm going to be using. This is so I can have a loco coming down on the track and it will open up the turnouts by themselves instead of me switching them. So I'll try and explain how I've done it. This is what the hare looks like. There's 12 points where you can wire all your wires up, and I'll show you how I'll wire them up. This is the instructions on how to wire up the hare. Pins 1 and 2 is my DCC bus. Pin 3 is my trigger rail for my throw, which you can see where the gap is. Pin 4 is for the clear. Pin 5 is for my frog. Because I'm using LEDs, bipolar red and green, I'll be using pins 6 and 8 that goes to the control panel. And pin 11 and 12 is for me push button switch for the control panel, which you can see. Just push. Now with your trigger rails, when you gap, you've got to gap them on the rail with the frog, as you can see here, which shows in the diagram. And also when you connect up your hare's got to know where your clear route is to start off with. Now there's 2 ways your tortoise can be. The arm can be to the right or the arm can be to the left. Now in my case, mine's to the right. And as you can see, you'll have all these numbers that you have to change on the hare. Mine will be to the right hand side. So I'll be on, off, on, so on. Now on the hare, that's your switches. You just move them up to on or off to which side your arm is. And this is what it will look like when it's under the layout. And guys, because of my first turnouts, I've got to use 4 trigger rails instead of 2 because I've got 4 tracks. So what I'm doing is I tie the 2 ends for my 2 tracks for my clear route and my throw route. So they're all just tied together. And that way I'll get my whole 4 tracks opening up, but depending on which loco is coming on the track, which I'll explain in a minute. If you can see up my very first turnout, that one there with the 1 pin, it will have 4 tracks leading into it. Those 2, and this one and this one. So these 4 tracks need to open that first turnout. And that's why I've got to double up the wires, which I'll wire it up now and show you. Okay, I've pre-wired up the hare. As I said, it's pin 1 and 2 is for me black and red DCC bus line. Pin 3 is me throw route trigger lines. Pin 4 is me clear route trigger lines. The green wire, which is in pin 5, is for me frog. pins 6 and 8 is for me LED bipolar red and green LEDs, and pin 11 and 12 is for my push button switch that goes on the control panel. So that's how it's all wired under the layout. Now this is my trigger rail, or one of my trigger rails. As you can see, I've got the 2 cuts in there with 1 wire soldered to the rail, and that will go into the hare. Now in my case I've got to do 9 trigger points to offset each rail. Which I've already pre-done as well, or cut. Okay guys, I've got the logo in the 3rd track, which as you can see is green, 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 so that means it's all open. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the points so the 3rd rail cannot go past because it's already red, so the hare will change them to green for me as it goes on the track. So we'll have a go and see what it looks like. Okay guys, as soon as it hits that first trigger rail, my first turnout should open, and then the second and the third. Right, now I'm going to open up the top rail. It should go green, and that loco should be able to go back to on the top rail. Now we changed my turnout again, so we'll close the top rail off so it's red, and the first turnout will open up when the train hits that trigger point. When it hits there, that first turnout should open. Now my next one I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 4th rail, which will be this rail. And you see they're all green. And now they're all red. Okay guys, first trigger point. Second and last. Now I'm going to do the second rail, which you see is red and red. So turnout 1 and 2 will open up. First trigger point, second trigger point, opens and opens.